Hello and welcome to Artists Soar. This is a podcast for artists by 3 artists. We discuss all aspects of being artists, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The goal of each podcast is to provide solutions so artists can focus on their creativity and soar above. I'm Rachel Harshenko.
Jules McCullough.
Stephanie Weaver.
Just because you know my name doesn't mean you know my story. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about how important a title is to your piece of work or your art. So what are you guys working on right now?
Well, I am evaluating the Advent calendar and seeing how that went. How many downloads and all that fun stuff. Looking at the analytics.
It was
what I
so
need to change
adorable
for next year. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I know you gave me a huge idea. Maybe I'll talk about it in a minute. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm debating whether to do it because I know how much work that was. So I'll be interested to know, was it worth it?
Right. Well, and I'm thinking about maybe putting a class together on Skillshare on how to do it.
Oh yes.
Amazing.
I'm clapping.
Yeah.
Yes,
because
that's great.
Now that I've done it and have it all set up and structured in ClickUp, I literally was able to go to all those tasks, change the dates on them for 2023.
Come on.
She's got a project plan.
Yeah. And now all I have to do for next year when I start looking at those dates is change the cover image, either keep or update the quote and change the freebie or move the freebies around or add to the freebies,
Yeah.
It's not as much work now that I have a project plan in place.
Yeah. It's a great, I love that.
So I'm, even if it financially didn't come out as a win, I think that I will do it again just because
that could be your thing.
Yeah. And it's just a good thing.
It is.
It's very positive.
Very giving.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Even if all you're getting is a quote, it's something to think about. It's like, oh, maybe I'll journal about this quote today. Oh, that changes my perspective today. It's something to give to a community that I think just needs a little lift now and then. So
yeah,
even if it financially wasn't a win, that's not why I went into it in the first place. So it's just engagement is what's going to tell me if it was a win or not. It has nothing to do with money because it is fun to do. It's fun to create. And now I have a plan in place. So yeah.
Can't beat that.
I love ClickUp.
I know.
I'm working on evaluating things for next year too.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of working on figuring out the promotion plan for next year for the art business and oil painting and all that, which was kind of one of the ideas I had because I think it's American Painters Month is all of August. I was thinking about it this morning. How cool would it be to have a daily giveaway of celebrating an American living artist and get 31 artists and
together kind of doing that thing.
Together.
That would be really cool.
That's a lot of orchestration. So I want your project plan.
Well, and it may not be that it's, you have enough work that you could fill those 31 days.
I mean, you could do it yourself.
But it's not just about me.
No.
I want it to be about, because it's American artists.
And it may be maybe you go every couple days, you do a different artist. You're not tracking down 31 artists. You're tracking down,
or maybe do one
10.
a week. Right.
Yeah.
And highlight them for that week.
Highlight 10 artists and grab three pieces from each. I like that. That simplifies.
Because the hard part on what you're talking about is the 31 artists.
Yeah, orchestrating. Right.
But if you, take baby steps, maybe this first year you only do 6 artists. And next year you
start building.
Then you build up. Because that's kind of what happened with my Advent calendar was my Advent calendar started and the first year I got all the images out and I got quotes out. I think I only got 2 freebies out. My intent was a heck of a lot more than that. My original intent was a freebie every day, which was insane. And then The following year, I got about half the days out, but I had more freebies and I had the quotes for all 30 or all 25 days. And then this year, I was like, by golly, I'm going to have a plan in place. And at the end of last year, I set up the plan in ClickUp. So when September rolled around, it was already dinging me that I needed to do stuff on it.
Yeah.
Granted, I didn't do it till October, but
you did it.
But I did it. So
that's cool.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that's totally doable.
It is doable.
And I like the idea, like 6-10, something like that.
Yeah.
Just start small. Yeah, because I gotta tell you, like, I'm planning next year's lunch and learns too.
Mm-hmm.
And artists, listen to me. You were horrible about responding to emails.
It's not just artists, unfortunately. I know.
I'm not going to say one thing. You guys love me. I'm sorry. I'll just give it a blank. We're sorry. Okay? Email is not our strong point.
But it's fine. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a challenge to get responses. And I got the thought of that when I was like, oh, this would be a great idea if I could get 31 artists. And like, God, okay, that's like pretty much a guarantee. I have to send at least 2 to 3 emails every artist that I'm trying to contact. And a third email is always like, okay, so what's going on here? Is it A, B, C, or D? Just respond.
Exactly. Just respond, please.
Oh my God, is my email working here? And, but yeah, so that, and then
it may be like they may be like, what is this? Like they may be like, is this spamming? Am I getting into something?
Like the second email. I'm not a stalker. This is really a question.
Right. And they can look you up. You're all, you're online. It's very legit.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you have an email from Stephanie, please respond.
I'm real.
Well, and I have found too that if it's coming from like an AOL or Gmail or a Yahoo account, I'm less likely to take it seriously than if it's coming from an email that looks like a business. And I've heard that a lot.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of wondering if it is coming from Gmail, if that might be part of the issue too, or if it's going into spam.
Oh, I actually got Google Workspace for this express purpose of direct communication.
Yeah.
For like lunch and learns and podcasts.
Oh, perfect.
Yes. Oh, that's awesome.
That's perfect.
And that way, because I'm keeping my spam on the other 4 emails that I have.
Right.
But yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah, because I forgot with Google Workspace, you can do a real email address.
It's like Stephanie at StephanieWeaverArtist.com.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which makes sense. I mean, that people respond to her.
I know.
She's using a real business email address that she's paying for.
And we're talking about other artists, and we're going to highlight an artist. So this is one that you follow.
Yeah, I've been following. Her name is Becca Lane of One Lane Studios. I've been following her for like a couple of years now. And one of the things that I love, well, she's an animal artist. And so like it's very colorful. Like
I know, I was looking at her website. It is so cute.
It is.
Yeah.
Very cute.
I'm on her newsletter too. I just love her stuff.
Look at this. It's a skunk with overalls.
I know, with little Daisy.
It's so cute. Oh my God. Look at the manatee.
Yeah.
I know, it's hard to make a manatee look cute. Like,
yes, and that one looks cute.
And a raven. So cute.
And I love her pet portrait. So, I'm an animal artist too. So it's one of those things, it's just, I love what she does. And I'm hoping, she's got like 2,100 followers on Instagram. And dang it, this girl deserves so much more. I just love her work.
Look at her little spider.
I know. She even made a creepy spider look good.
Wow. Look at that puffer fish.
Okay, her work is amazing.
Love the puffer fish.
It's bright, it's colorful, it's ingenuitive. What's the word?
It's just so cute.
It's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah. Follow One Lane Studios, and we'll include show note, the links in the show notes and stuff. Because it's just, she even has a squirrel. Speak to me. Okay.
I know. Right?
Does she have a mouse?
I don't know, actually.
That's your thing.
I'm on mice right
your
now.
Mouse, yeah.
But I've got two squirrels happening. Hey, before we dive into today's topic, I actually made a gift for the Artists Soar listeners, and that's the Art Business Checklist and Video Guide. This checklist actually outlines what you need to do every day, week, month, quarter, and even year. The purpose of it is to hopefully make your own lives a little bit easier as you're defining your art business. You can go to stephanieweaverartist.com/art-business-checklist to grab that free guide now. Again, that's stephanieweaverartist.com/art-business-checklist.
So, back to our question of the episode. How important is naming your artwork?
So we talked a little bit about this.
We've done it one
Q&A,
time, yeah.
Like
kind of a quick one.
40, we'll include a link to that. But for me, the title kind of helps explain the logic behind things. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Well, you have a lot of storytelling in your artwork.
Yeah.
Whereas I have like a cacti. I mean,
but you can make a story of that,
right?
Yeah, the cacti are adorable. You know, you get it. So the thing I like about the story idea is like, so you've got a cactus. What happened in a point of time that made that cactus the focus of attention?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you start building a story around.
And then you get the what, the who, the why, the how.
Yeah. And
the where.
Journey.
Yeah. Yeah. Just becomes kind of fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes I look at a piece and I can think of a good name, but not all the time. I mean, a name doesn't always come.
Especially when you just like paint something because you want to paint something.
Yeah.
So I was telling, catch the listeners up. I was telling these guys about something that I did this past weekend, and I do it all the time on social media where I post up a piece. Most of the time it's just because I wanted to paint it. And, post up a piece and it's like, name this piece because I really got nothing. And that's why I've got like sunflower. Nothing. But I posted like these 7 little beanie babies, and I put it up in my studio out in the window, and it's like hanging from the top saying, name this piece. And I left a little clipboard for people to write on and stuff. And first people that walked by, there was like a group of 5 of them. I was like, hey, you guys look like a creative crew. Can you help me name this piece? And then it was just so cool to watch them stand around and actually look at it and talk about it.
That's awesome.
And one of the ladies, she's like, really neat. I know what I'm going to do. She's like, it's all about the eyes. And that's what she named it. It was all about the eyes because she was an optometrist.
Oh, how cool is that?
And the Beanie Baby type things have those huge eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, that was neat. And then they came up with a couple more. And then a group of girls came by and I was, hey, it's that same thing. You guys look like a creative crew. Help me name this piece. And so they stopped and they're looking at it. And there was also like a mother and daughter, and the mother and daughter stood there and talked about it. And they came up like a really fun name that I'm probably going to go with, which was I'm Watching You. Because it's like not only kind of creepy with the dolls, but it's also kind of sweet.
Yeah.
So depending on how you want to take it.
Right.
But there were just ideas I wouldn't have thought about. And,
awesome.
And they lead to some sort of story, or they made the story work, the painting work out.
Right. Well, and I've heard it both ways. Like sometimes you should just title it and not tell the story.
Yeah.
So that the viewer can make up their own story and become connected to the piece if they have to purchase it. Then I've also heard, well, you should tell the story so that, the viewer understands where you came from when you painted the piece.
Yeah.
Because they might connect in that way.
Right. So, I mean, I think it goes both ways, but I love engaging the audience to give the title because now I think it has more meaning to the piece and more people will connect with it.
I wonder if we should start,
Sorry, guys.
We're both struggling. We're all struggling with allergies.
Allergies are kicking our butts. But I wonder, what if, normally we name the pieces, right? Should we wait to name the piece until the person actually purchase it and let them name the piece. It's something I've never thought of until right now.
Well, it's kind of what's happening with my pieces, because if you go down to my studio, I don't think most of them have a name.
Yeah, your stuff is...
It's just nameless. I've just given up on putting names to stuff because I'm drawing a whale with flowers.
Yeah, you're like whale.
With flowers.
I know. I'm like, it's another sea life piece. How many dolphins can I have named?
Yeah,
I have the dancing dolphins, which you named, and
I love those.
Yeah, but
and Sheldon.
Yeah,
and Sheldon. You named that one, yeah.
So I mean, maybe that is more to it. That like I have a leaf. It's called Monstera leaf because that's what it is. Like I don't know. All it is a leaf. How do you come up with that story for that particular piece?
That would be kind of cool. I've never known an artist to do that though, but it's like when you buy it, you get to name it.
Yeah,
right.
That's a kind of a neat idea.
Yeah, I never thought about it until you just mentioned it.
It's like you buying a star or something,
right?
You get to name the star.
Yeah,
but it's funny. It's like, would the Mona Lisa be the Mona Lisa?
Exactly.
Or the girl with the pearl earring,
right,
or the girl in blue, or I mean, like
those sound like names I would name.
Yeah,
the girl with the pearl earring, because I can't think of anything else.
Right.
But maybe it's Jacqueline.
Starry Night.
Yeah.
I mean, Starry Night and
Mm-hmm. Monet's Garden. I mean, but then you think of Monet as Monet's Garden, Monet's Garden 2, Monet's Garden 3.
Yeah.
Monet's Garden with the bridge. It's like his aren't that
ingenious in naming conventions either.
Exactly. Yeah. Where Van Gogh's are a little bit, then it makes me wonder, did Van Gogh name them? Or did somebody else name him after he died?
Or if you're buying a Kandinsky piece,
right?
You can name it anything.
But those all have names.
They're all named, right?
Yeah.
But if you had bought it, like, what would you have named
it? Exactly.
It's like, what do you see?
Right.
They're making me think. But I know one of the things I'm doing with some of my paintings now is I'm actually writing a story. Wow, voice crack. I'm writing a story to kind of explain what led to that painting, but not necessarily like in real life. Like, there's a dewdrop painting, and that's about a little fairy named, what did I name her? Starlight? Twinkle. Her name is Twinkle. And so obviously that didn't happen. But, and the funny thing is, like, I'm kind of writing some of these stories. I wish I would have named the painting differently.
Right.
Well, you can change the name of the painting.
Yeah.
Why not?
I don't know. Then I got to change the paperwork. The certificate.
Just put it in ClickUp. Airtable. Just change it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're just changing one piece, it's not that big.
But it does. I kind of like the idea of having somebody else name it as it relates to them. That will make it even more personable.
Right. Well, maybe my stuff isn't really named too, because mine is more of a commercial artist, graphic artist sort of caliber than a fine art piece. And I wonder if there's some difference there,
Right. Well, you can always, sign it on the back. If someone buys a piece, and like, what do you think it should be titled? And you can.
Oh, that's a neat idea.
You can autograph it with that.
Right. This was my title, and that's how I titled the piece to give you your certificate of authenticity. However, the title is only for my inventory purposes.
Yeah, and then you can sign it on the back and just say, to Stephanie, here's your name, and then I'll sign it, Rachel, or whatever.
I kind of like that idea. That's
make it really personal.
Yeah,
that would make it fun.
Yeah,
right.
That way you don't have to go in and change it.
I know. That's not
a workaround.
Right.
We'll work around it.
Yeah, we don't need more work.
Exactly. We got enough to do. But I mean, that's another engagement level and personalization to create a collector.
Yeah.
Like Katrina has a lot of collectors.
That's a good idea.
And, there's no reason why your work can't have collectors or more collectors and more of a collection of pieces that may be a way to engage more with people to get them connected to you.
This whole thing, when I put that sign up and started watching people and stuff, I did the same thing on social media. And so that's getting a number of comments as well.
Right.
And I'm like, it got me thinking about, why am I not doing what I'm doing on social media in real life for that level of engagement? Why don't I put up a quote a day? Why don't I, in my little space? And so I know one of the things that Julie and I started doing, we have these little sandwich boards, and now we're writing on little things on there. And and that's getting a ton of engagement.
I'll tell you, I wrote the one about friends don't let friends shop at chain stores.
Yes.
And so I had it sitting outside the studio, and then it was getting some engagement. If somebody caught their eye on it, it was getting engagement. Well, then I moved it so it's dead center of the door, right in front of the desk. That quote unquote checkout desk. And that is getting 10 times more engagement.
Where you moved it.
Where I moved it.
That's interesting.
And it's inside the studio now instead of outside. So I'm like, okay, now I need to get the tent one to put outside. But I am laughing because this old man and his wife and another couple, I mean, literally probably in their 80s. Okay. They're walking around, and the other three kept on going, and he is sitting outside the door reading the sign out loud, laughing. And I happened to be working on my windows, so I went out and ended up following him a little bit. And he caught up to the other group of people that he was with. He goes, and he's still laughing.
That's awesome.
And so then he's telling them about it, not knowing that I was following them. And I just like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's, I just moved it ever so slightly to inside, and it's getting more laughs than
I wonder if are you taking a picture and putting it on your reels or anything? That would be fun.
No, I haven't done that. I should. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should put that up on reels.
So mine has like an arrow that says lovely art. And then below that, another arrow pointing like down the hall. And it says, don't know, maybe angry fairies. I wouldn't risk it.
I love that.
So people are laughing.
That's funny.
And like one lady, she came in and she's like, I said, hey, so what brings you out here today? And she's like, I'm avoiding the angry fairies.
Oh, hilarious. That's awesome. So, and you're like, good, come buy something.
I know, just humor and keeping it.
Yes.
It works in real life too.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really valuable lesson over this last week.
Well, and I mean, I love that Pinterest board that we set up, because I'm going to get another tent site, or that I should say you set up. And I just like.
Oh, you want on it?
Hopped
Rachel?
in it.
Okay.
But because it's giving me ideas for the window displays.
So you have a Pinterest board?
Yeah.
Just like window ideas?
Yeah. So my next thing is going to be this Christmas tree that says, 'tis the season to shop.
That's perfect. It's true.
Well, and we've got this thing called Yule Y'all coming. Like,
yes.
Or we'll
every year.
The first Saturday of December.
We've got Shop Small or Shop Locals coming up, and then
Yule Y'all. Be there for that.
When is that one?
That's Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to be there.
Yeah. We're in Texas then.
But yeah, so I just created this board because I'm learning about all these things as far as like a retail gallery space, because it's completely different than marketing online.
Yes.
You got to be able to get them in, get them to flow.
Right.
Do all that. So
and you're competing against 160 other studios with the art. So.
Right. And so like just coming up with ideas to start engaging, because they just hang out. It's like, it's a fish bowl. I'm the fish inside the bowl, and they're walking through the windows like, hey, fishy, fishy.
I love that analogy.
Like, come on in. Don't fight. So yeah, that's one of the things I'm really trying to figure out. And so I started thinking about the social media thing. I'm like, I need people to engage. They're there. Mm-hmm. These are creative people.
Right. Well, and it's interesting you said that too about where to engage, because so we reset up our studio and now we have kind of a checkout desk, and that's where I find I engage better with people because I can see them as they're walking by and I can say hello to them and stuff. Well, Jim has been trying it out and he texted me this weekend. It was so funny. Because I thought he was talking about the internet. That's why it was so funny. Whoops. But he said something about the fact that I relapsed. I'm back outside at the back corner of the table. I just connect better here. And that's why I took it.
Okay.
So he finds connecting and engaging with people better at that back desk or our classroom table, because he can see people through both windows. Oh. And so he talks to them through the windows to get them to come in, especially when they're looking in at something specific in the windows, where I am engaging as they're walking by, because they always look in. Every single door they walk past, they look in. Mm-hmm. So it is interesting, too, to see where you engage with people better. As you're exploring that.
Yeah.
So
we got to get our listeners, if they're local, they need to come by and see. Oh yeah, the studios.
Yeah.
Julie is Studio 120.
Yep, 120 on the first floor. And don't trust the numbering system.
Right, the numbering is weird.
Numbering doesn't make any sense at all.
We're all the way in the back, in the middle.
If you came in at the dock, all the way at the back.
Yeah, just keep walking.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm on the third floor, Studio 311. The numbers don't make sense.
You're almost directly above us.
Yeah, I'm on the third floor in the middle.
Yep.
And almost towards the back as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
you're down a little bit.
Well, if she comes from the public elevator, then she's almost towards the back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I found like people, when they come in, they make a right and then they go around that way. Mm-hmm. So, like working both windows to try and bring them around.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Well, this evolved from titling works of art to get people engaged. Exactly.
Well,
but it all goes together. Yeah. It really does.
Because like the titles and stuff, you don't name your titles to where they could see them. You don't put the labels up.
I have labels and stuff up where they can see them, but it's literally whale with coral.
Whale with coral.
I mean,
so I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, how can we make that engaging for them?
Yeah.
Like a little QR code and, name this piece and then they get on your email list type of thing,
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea at all.
Submit your suggestion.
Yeah.
For naming
name. Yeah, you could do a QR code for that.
Right.
I love that idea. Submit your suggestion for naming this piece, and then send them an email. Make it really super simple. Email address, and then send them like a coupon for a percentage off. Or something.
The thing is you're going to get more engagement and more suggestions if they're standing there.
I know.
Yeah.
Than them scanning a QR code and then going back and doing it.
Right.
The piece isn't right in front of them. So I don't know if I would even bother going down that path.
Yeah.
I would almost just have the clipboard and say, name this piece and have a drawing,
Yeah, I like that idea too.
And that's how you're getting their email address versus doing the QR code thing.
Yeah.
Because they're there in the moment.
Mm-hmm. And what I really
get them right there
about it is they were actually looking at it and having a discussion about it. That was the fun part.
Right. And they're going to remember it when they get home and 2 weeks from now or next time they're at Low Mill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
the funny, there was a lady there that she's like, oh, my niece has 300 of these things. Might have to take a picture and send it to her mom. This might be a good Christmas present because the girl's 15 years old.
Right.
And, can't take that on the 300 Beanie Babies to college with you. It's going to have some issues.
Right, exactly.
You can take a painting.
Right.
So yeah, it was just kind of interesting to kind of see and hear all that and looking at the giggles. And then one of the things I had to do mentally was, I heard giggles. Mm-hmm. Like, are they laughing at me? Are they laughing at my work? And I had to disconnect from that. Yes. And just having a good time.
Yeah.
Well, and I thought of something else when you were talking a few minutes ago about the stories and that. What would be kind of cool for window display or for, to write on your windows and stuff is in a land far, far away. And then you tell a little snippet of the story, come inside to find more snippets of the story. And you almost create like a little scavenger hunt in your studio.
Oh, that's good.
Cute.
And maybe you change it quarterly. So it's not like you're changing it all the time. That may be like a quarterly fun thing to do.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, that is work.
That's work.
It's work, but it's from a story you already told, and you're just taking snippets of the story, and then at the very end is the piece that you're talking about.
Yeah, that's fun.
That would be fun.
And I could see kind of even not necessarily make it like a scavenger hunt, but put like a yellow board or something like that behind another clue.
Right.
And then the major piece has a different color or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's different ways I think you could do that and make that fun. Yeah. But because you're already telling a story or writing a story for each piece, I think that's a fun way to get people to come in.
Yeah.
Well, see, these are all really good ideas.
No, you guys are like such a brain trust. It's ridiculous.
Well, let us know how you guys name your art, or if you name it, or is it important to you? Let us know in the comments. And until next time.
Thanks for listening to Artists Soar,
a podcast for artists by artists. And if you have any questions, feel free to email us at hello@artistssoar.com.
And be sure to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts so that you can get more of us and we can bring in some sponsors to help you and help us.